Hi, what's going on, peeps? My name is Simon. You're watching Soundwave TV, transforming your video experience. Okay, wherever somebody does something great, you got people that are doing something that's not so great. So this is my losers list for 2018. I hope everybody's having a happy new year. Before we get into this new year, we got to clear out some backlog from the old year first. All right. Florida Man, number 10. It's never anything positive. Just go and look up Florida Man. It's always Florida Man streaking naked near elementary school, or Florida Man brings loaded gun to a shopping mall or airport, or Florida Man gets into a bar brawl, or Florida Man. It's never anything positive. I think, yeah, Florida Man says racial slur outside of high school graduation. It's never anything positive with Florida Man. Like, you don't see Florida Man rescues old lady from burning building, or Florida Man rescues puppy. It's real. Check it out. Number 9, Cleveland Cavaliers. Okay, it's not the fact that they lost, but it's how they lost. And you know that first overtime game when it made to the finals? And you could just tell their body language that we don't have what it takes to beat the Golden State Warriors. Then you have J.R. Smith not knowing how much time is on the clock to know what play to set. And that series, I think if they had done a little bit better, if they hadn't got swept, if they had maybe went to a game 7, LeBron might have stayed around for a little while. Now he's out in L.A. trying to make it happen. Well, number 8, Buffalo Bills. Okay, Nathan Peterman might have the worst performance I've ever seen from a starting quarterback. And he seems like a decent dude, but it's just like, why does the organization keep putting him out there when he's throwing pick after pick after pick? And I'm like, okay, I'm sure you have at least another 2 quarterbacks on the team. And my whole thing is, they can't do any worse than the guy you got out there. Then you got Vontae Davis, who just quits in the middle of a game. I've never seen that anybody just quit in the middle of a game. Maybe, oh, coach, take me out, put somebody else in. Dude hopped out in his car and drove off during halftime. Like, the ultimate rage quit. But that was just bizarre. It's like, as far as the quarterback situation, if there's only a guy available who's very popular and recognizable and who's played in the Super Bowl, if only he were available, I don't know. But there you go. Buffalo Bills, they could not build off that last year's playoff appearance. And he had OJ showing up. That was awkward. But anyway. Number 7, Startup Cons. No, Tana Mojo, she went in there with a specific thing to show up VidCon. So you already started off with bad energy. Then you had people outside in the heat passing out, and they didn't have any cold water or medical personnel available. And then you had Universal Fan Con. That was a train wreck. Well, obviously that's an offense to train wrecks, because people actually take responsibility for train wrecks. They tell people a week out that the thing is canceled and the thing's not happening. But hey, we can still go see Infinity War. That'd be great. Here's the thing with sci-fi cons and any kind of convention. You need somebody who can make the trains run on time. Somebody who can dot the I's and cross the T's. Start out small. That's what Augusta's doing with their toy and comic show. Start out with about a couple hundred people, and they're expanding it this year. And they're working with the Joe Fest, G.I. Joe Festival people who already know how to do this thing properly. All right. Number 6, Urban Meyer. Now, he's coaching at Ohio State, and he got into hot water because he kept employing Zach Smith, who had numerous domestic violence allegations against him. And my whole thing is, if any of the players had done half of those things that Zach Smith had done, they would have been off the team. No questions asked, no recourse. But because he's somewhat of a family friend, you gave him a pass. And that was the whole hypocrisy in the fact that you couldn't just stand there and take the questions like people just wasting your valuable time. But he kept his job for a little while, but it's just the whole reaction to the controversy didn't sit well with me. All right. Number 5, Brett Kavanaugh. Now, you can't be crumbling under pressure. Now, he got accused of some sexual misconduct things back in the day. And again, we don't know who did what. But the fact you're about to be a Supreme Court justice, your judgment is being analyzed as you're being confirmed by the Senate. And you're just having all this attitude and just calm, breathe. My whole thing is, if I'm going up for this position, look at whatever you need to look at so that when I go and take my position, there's no question as to my mental abilities, my integrity. But there you go. Number 4, 911 callers. I need people to stop calling 911 for just any old thing. That is for life and death emergency, because it's all these random suburban white folks and like Barbecue Becky and Corner Stove Kate and Pit Stop Pete. It's like, I understand that sometimes there can be infractions of the law. And I understand that sometimes things can be a nuisance or an aggravation. But it's not to the level that you need to call 911 and take their time and resources away from people who are actually going through life and death things. All right. Number 3, Viceland. How do you get rid of Desus and Mero? It is the number 1 show in the history of the network. All they wanted to do was get a little bit more pay and a little bit more break time. You're having them do too many shows for too little pay, and you let them just go to Showtime. They were appearing everywhere. They had a huge, strong following and pretty much being ambassadors. Because I don't know, the people who watch Viceland on a regular basis, that was one of the main shows they watched. Desus and Mero, and just let them go. All right. Roseanne, she got into number 2. And she lost the bag for herself and almost lost the bag for her whole team. Got the Roseanne show canceled. And the whole thing is she got killed off in a pretty bad way. Opioid addiction. But knowing the history of this show, they'll probably bring her back. Because I think Dan had died. And then they brought him back because reasons. So the whole thing is just if you had just apologized. Well, I think it was apology, but it sounded kind of half-hearted. And they kept giving you chances. It's you'd already had a little Hitler dress-up thing with the cookies, and people were kind of give you a slide with you're already on thin ice. So maybe just tread the racial jokes a little more carefully. So yeah, there you go. Number 1, who took the biggest L in 2018? The Sentinel Island guy, John Chow. Look here. Being a missionary is cool. I know you want to spread the word of the Lord, but people told you that this island is full of people. It ain't about that play. And you end up losing your life, and they can't even get your body now. Here's a lesson for people. You just can't be strolling up in nobody's hood. You better know what set you claim. You better know who your people is. and the dude just got speared to death, and it's just like, it's internationally known you're not supposed to go to that island. They don't like outsiders because of diseases. Historically, they're very savage and brutal toward outsiders. So yeah, that's right. Number one guy that took an L. He lost. He lost his life. So yeah. Well, that's everybody who I thought took a loss, took an L in 2018. Who do you think had a bad year? Put it in the comments down below. Subscribe to this channel and ring that bell to find out about future videos. Until next time, this is Soundwave signing off. Peace.